Okinawa, a land where the sea whispers ancient tales and the winds carry the songs of spirits. Okinawa is not simply the southernmost prefecture of Japan. It was once an independent nation, a proud seafaring kingdom known as Ryukyu. From the 15th to the 19th century, the Ryukyu Kingdom was a vibrant maritime hub, weaving trade and diplomacy across China, Korea, Japan, and Southeast Asia. Its people spoke their own language, worshipped at sacred groves, and governed from a coral-built palace surrounded by crimson walls. Though annexed by Japan in the late 1800s and devastated during World War II, Okinawa has preserved a distinct cultural identity that still passes through its songs, its shrines, its cuisine, and its deep reverence for nature and ancestors. And as we trace this 4-day spring road trip across its cliffs, castles, forests, and coastlines, we are not just seeing Okinawa, we are entering the heart of Ryukyu. Our journey begins at Cape Manzamo, a majestic cliff resembling an elephant's trunk standing guard over the East China Sea. The name Manzamo translates to a field where 10,000 people can sit, a testament to its grandeur. But beyond its physical beauty lies a spiritual significance. Local legends speak of sea deities gathering here, their presence felt in the salty breeze and the rhythmic crashing of waves. As the sun sets, painting the sky with hues of orange and pink, one can't help but feel a connection to the ancient spirits that dwell in this sacred place. If you are going to visit the cave, I strongly recommend you to come during the sunset. Venturing inland, we arrived at Mount Katsuu, a modest yet spiritually significant peak. Betrayal winds through forests echoing with the songs of endemic birds, full of exotic lush plants, and leading to a summit that unveils a tapestry of mountains, seas, and skies. The climb is steep at times, but not too long, 30 minutes or so one way, so it's super doable. In Ryukyuan belief, mountains are revered as Utaki, sacred spaces where deities reside. The views from the summit of Mount Katsuu are definitely worth the climb. In the northern reaches of Okinawa lies the historic Nakijin Castle, a gusuku, which is a Ryukyuan fortress that dates back to the early 14th century. Constructed using Ryukyuan limestone and wood, the castle served as the capital of the Ryukyu Kingdom during a period when Okinawa was divided into 3 principalities. The fortress played a pivotal role in regional politics until its fall to the Chosen Kingdom in 1416. Today, Nakijin Castle is renowned for its cherry blossoms, particularly the Hikan Sakura variety, which bloom earlier than those on mainland Japan and are known for their bright pink color. The annual Hanami, flower viewing festival, attracts visitors who come to admire the delicate pink flowers set against the backdrop of ancient stone walls. This convergence of natural beauty and historical significance offers a reminder of the impermanence and continuity of life. It definitely looks absolutely stunning. Descending into the depths of Cape Okinawa, we enter a realm sculpted over hundreds of thousands of years. The cave's limestone formations, shaped by the persistent drip of mineral-rich water, create a subterranean cathedral of stalactites and stalagmites. In Ryukyuan mythology, caves are portals to the underworld, places where the physical and spiritual worlds intertwine. It's said that the ancestral spirits dwell here, their whispers carried in the cold, damp air. Whether you believe that the cave is full of spirits, it's definitely really breathtaking. Embarking on a trek to Taataki Falls in the village of Ogimi is a super fun experience. The journey involves a 3-mile round trip that includes river trekking. Water shoes are recommended and you can rent them by the trail parking lot. The hike is a bit steep at times, but still very doable. The falls themselves cascade from a height of 50 feet, creating a serene and powerful spectacle. In local lore, waterfalls are often considered sacred, symbolizing purification and the presence of divine spirits. Taataki Falls is no exception, with legends suggesting that the area is inhabited by benevolent kami, who bless those who approach with respect. The act of traversing the river and forest to reach the falls is seen as a form of pilgrimage, a journey that cleanses the body and the spirit. Venturing into the northern region of Okinawa, we encounter the lush expanse of Yanbaru National Park. This area is characterized by its rugged cliffs, dense subtropical forests, and a remarkable array of endemic species. The cliffs, composed primarily of Ryukyuan limestone, have been sculpted over millennia by tectonic activity and erosion, resulting in dramatic formations that rise sharply from the coastline. They are actually quite sharp, so walking on them is a challenge. Yanbaru is not only a haven for biodiversity but also steeped in a spiritual significance. Local folklore speaks of the area as a dwelling place of forest spirits and deities. Certain trees and rock formations are revered as sacred, believed to house kami, gods, that protect the land and its inhabitants. Visitors are encouraged to tread respectfully, acknowledging the spiritual presence that permeates the area. We visited the park on a really rainy day, which made it seem even more moody. I love the combo of the black cliffs against the dark, stormy clouds. Next on the journey, we head to a place that feels like it touches the sky, Katsuren Castle. Sitting high on a hill overlooking the Pacific Ocean, it is one of the oldest castles on Okinawa, built in the 13th century, but it became truly important a couple of centuries later under the rule of a man named Amawari. His story is the stuff of legend. He rose from humble beginnings, a commoner, then became a powerful local lord. Smart, ambitious, and maybe a bit too bold, Amawari married into the royal family. Some say he aimed to take the throne himself. Eventually, the central Ryukyu Kingdom saw him as a threat, and he was brought down, executed, and his castle seized. Locals call it the castle in the sky, and when you are up there, it makes sense. Geologically, it's built right into Okinawa's limestone bedrock, remnants of ancient coral reefs that make up so much of the island's terrain. It's like the castle grew out of the island itself. Crossing the iconic Kouri Bridge, we reach the Kouri Island, often referred to as Lover's Island. We visited Okinawa in spring when it was still a bit cold, but I can only imagine how lovely it is in summer when the water is warm and you can actually go into the ocean. Arguably the most famous place on Kouri Island is the Hard Rock. It stands as a symbol of eternal love tied to the legend of Amamichu and Shinen, the divine couple believed to have created the Ryukyu Islands. Standing at the Cape Chinen, we can gaze upon Kudaka Islands, considered the birthplace of Ryukyuan civilization. According to the legend, the creator deity descended here, bringing life to the islands. Not far from the beaches and roadside shrines, tucked quietly along the coast of Hamahiga Island, lies one of the Okinawa's most sacred and mysterious places, the tomb of Amamichu. According to the Ryukyuan mythology, Amamichu and his partner Shinen descended from heavenly realm to shape these islands from coral and sea foam. They gave birth not only to the land but to the people, culture, and sacred order of Okinawa. This tomb isn't grand in size, but that's not what gives it powers. Locals still leave offerings here, salt, rice, and shells, and bow in quiet respect. They say this is where life began. Further along the coast lies Sefa Utaki, one of the most sacred sites in Okinawa. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, this natural sanctuary was once a place of worship for the Ryukyuan royal family and priestesses known as Noro. The site's unique rock formations and large vegetation create a serene atmosphere inviting contemplation and reverence. Sefa Utaki exemplifies the Ryukyuan belief in nature's sanctity, where the divine is found not in the man-made structures but in the natural world itself. The capital city of Naha is where the threads of Okinawa's story are tied together, where the echoes of the Ryukyu Kingdom, American occupation, and indigenous spirituality are crammed into narrow alleyways, castle walls, and the rhythms of daily life. Let's begin the exploration of Naha at Shuri Castle, once the grand seat of the Ryukyu kings. It's not your typical Japanese castle. Instead of grey stone walls and a towering keep, Shuri is all crimson lacquer and sweeping Chinese-style roofs, symbolic of the unique cultural crossroads Okinawa once was. In the 14th to 19th centuries, the Ryukyu Kingdom was a prosperous maritime state trading with China, Korea, Japan, and even the kingdoms of Southeast Asia. You can still see the syncreties of the layout of the castle grounds. Chinese-style gates, Japanese security walls, and sacred Okinawan Utaki coexist. But Shuri Castle has also borne the scars of history. Bombed to near oblivion in World War II, rebuilt in the 1990s, and tragically destroyed again by fire in 2019. Yet it rises always. Reconstruction continues, and it's more than a physical restoration. It's a cultural rebirth. We couldn't see the full castle because it's still under renovation, but I can only imagine how amazing it will look once it's done. Walk just beyond the castle grounds and you will find yourself on Shuri Kinjo stone pavement, one of the last preserved Ryukyuan streets. The old road curves with the hillside along old homes and shaded by massive gnarled trees, the Kinjo big Akagi trees, some believed to be over 300 years old. The trees, with their deep red bark and twisted limbs, look like something out of a fantasy novel, and they are. According to Okinawan folklore, deities visit these trees once a year, listening to the prayers of those who pass beneath their branches. I wonder if they listen to ours. Once you get back to the central Naha, you can find Makishi Public Market, which is a vibrant place where you can grab local bites and souvenirs. Tsuboya Pottery District is a historic neighborhood where the very clay of the earth has been molded by the hands of Okinawan artisans for centuries. Pottery here isn't just art, it was life. In the 1600s, when the Ryukyu Kingdom centralized pottery production in Tsuboya, they invited Korean potters and adopted glazing techniques from China and Thailand. The result? Yachimun, Okinawan pottery that's bold, tactile, and alive with earthy colors. You can still visit functioning kilns that survived the war, see lion dog Shisa being sculpted by hand, and buy tea sets patterned with hibiscus, coral, and ocean waves. Pottery in Okinawa wasn't ornamental, it was spiritual. Vessels were offerings, vases were used in ancestor worship, and Shisa, they weren't decor, they were protection. Which brings us to Okinawa's iconic Shisa lions, those toothy, fierce, occasionally goofy guardian figures you see perched on every rooftop and gate. Half lion, half dog, the open-mouthed Shisa wards off evil spirits, the closed-mouthed one keeps the good ones in. Their roots trace back to China's guardian lions, but over time they evolved into something distinctly Okinawan, more expressive, more personal, more playful. Every household has their own Shisa pair, and they are passed down like heirlooms. I really loved how goofy some of them were, and you could find them in all sizes, colors, with different facial expressions. Really extraordinary. Now, let's talk food. I'll be honest, when I first heard that taco rice was a must-try Okinawan dish, I was skeptical. Tacos in Japan? It just didn't click in my head. But after one bite, I got it. Taco rice isn't just a fusion, it's Okinawa's story on a plate. Seasoned ground beef, shredded cheese, crisp lettuce, and salsa, all piled onto a bed of white rice. It sounds strange until you taste it, and then it's the most natural thing in the world. It was born out of the American military presence after World War II when local ingredients met US cravings, and now it's a comfort food that feels totally Okinawan. They also do tacos in Okinawa, and they are as amazing as the taco rice. I don't know how they do it, but their shells are the crispiest yet the lightest ones I've ever had. If you're in Okinawa, don't forget to try some of the local burgers. We also went to the local Kalbi branch, and we got these potato churros made with shredded potato, crispy on the outside and soft inside, and dipped them straight into the ice cream. Game over. Make sure you try the Okinawa donuts, sata andagi, that are crispy on the outside, soft and cakey inside, almost like a cross between a donut and a muffin. Another iconic Okinawan dessert that you must try are desserts using ube, purple sweet potatoes. You can taste Chinese influence all over the island, especially in the way pork is prepared. The Ryukyu Kingdom had deep ties with Ming and Qing China, and culinary legacy lives on today. The most famous example, rafute, a slow-braised pork belly dish that's tender, rich, and subtly sweet, simmered in soy sauce and Okinawan brown sugar. It's not just delicious, it's a dish with royal roots once served to Chinese envoys during the kingdom's golden era. You will also find pork knuckle, often served whole and braised to follow the bone perfection. Then there's fried white fish, often caught locally and served simply with a squeeze of lime and a brush of soy. And then, the most surprising thing, sea grapes, or umibudo. They look like tiny green bubbles, popping like caviar when you bite into them. They are harvested from Okinawan waters and served raw, usually with a vinegar dipping sauce. It's the kind of thing you would never imagine craving, but once you try, it becomes unforgettable. A bite of the sea, literally. I also strongly recommend you to get Okinawa soba, but tastes so much different than the mainland soba. It doesn't use buckwheat flour. We got one topped with braised pork belly and shimata gurashi, which is Okinawan chili powder that is spicy, a little citrusy, and kind of floral. This journey through Okinawa reveals a land where history, nature, and spirit intertwine. More than a destination, Okinawa is a timeless encounter of a world where the past and present flow together like the ocean tides.